You know what's genuinely exhausting? Starting over. You've done it. January 1st, a Monday morning, the day after a bad week. You draw a hard line, go all in, and for a while it actually works. Then life happens. You miss one day. The momentum cracks. And somehow, skipping a single session turns into not going for 3 weeks. And you're back at zero. Again, if that cycle sounds familiar, keep watching, because this video is going to completely change how you think about progress. Here's what nobody tells you about that cycle. It's not a willpower problem. It's not a discipline problem. It's not even a consistency problem. It's a thinking problem. Because somewhere along the way, we all got sold the same idea, that real change looks dramatic. That if you're not completely overhauling your routine, if you're not feeling the burn, seeing the results, logging the transformation photos, it doesn't count. So we aim for everything, burn out by week 3, and quietly file under, I'll try again next month. The self-help world loves to respond to this with one word: discipline. Just be more disciplined. Show up when you don't feel like it. Grind harder. And look, there's truth in that. But it doesn't solve the root problem, because it's still asking you to do more, to push harder, to be more than you currently are. Starting right now, what I want to show you today is something different. It's a single rule, the 1% better every day rule, and it works not because it demands more from you, but because it demands almost nothing, just 1%. And the mathematics of what that 1% does over time is one of the most quietly devastating things I've ever put on a whiteboard. By the end of this video, you'll have a system so small your worst day can still use it, and a completely new way of seeing how far you've actually already come. Stay with me. The number I'm about to show you changes everything. Let me paint you a picture. There's a folder on your desktop, or maybe the note on your phone, or a page at the back of a journal. And in that folder lives a version of you that you're working toward. The fit body, the finished project, the skill you swore you'd finally master, the business that exists right now only in your imagination. You know exactly who you want to become. You can picture it in extraordinary detail. And yet, here you are, looking at the gap between that version of yourself and where you actually stand today. And the gap feels enormous, not impossible, just vast. Like standing at the base of a mountain and craning your neck to see the peak disappear into cloud. That feeling is so universal, it's almost embarrassing to admit. We've all stood there. We've all felt the weight of ambition pressing down against the reality of an ordinary Tuesday afternoon. But here's the thing nobody talks about when they talk about that gap. It's not the distance that stops us. It's the question of how. How do I get from here to there without completely dismantling my current life? How do I change when everything around me stays the same? Most people answer that question by swinging for the fences. And I get it. When the gap is that large, you feel like you need a proportionally large response. But that's the trap. And it's one we need to look at very closely. Here's how the trap works. Tell me if this sounds familiar. The moment arrives, some combination of inspiration, frustration, and a clear calendar, and you decide, this is the moment everything changes. You go all in. The new workout program, every day, no exceptions. The total diet overhaul. Starting Monday, the 3 hours a day creative project. The complete rebrand of your professional life. Week 1 is extraordinary. You feel alive. You feel like the person you were always supposed to be. Your energy is up. Your focus is sharp. You're logging the habits and ticking the boxes and texting your friends about how different things feel this time. Week 2, the first cracks appear. You miss a session. Life intervened. A late meeting, a sick kid, a night that ran long. You tell yourself you'll double up tomorrow. You don't double up tomorrow. And here's the part that really gets people. It's not the missed session that kills the momentum. It's the story you tell yourself about the missed session. I've ruined it. I broke the streak. I'm back to zero. I might as well wait for a fresh start. And so you wait for a Monday, for a new month, for a clean slate that never quite arrives. The chains of habit are too light to be felt until they are too heavy to be broken. Warren Buffett. That's the all-or-nothing trap in its purest form. It's not laziness. It's not weak character. It's a flawed framework. The belief that change must be total to count, and that anything less than perfect is the same as failure. The moment you miss a day, you don't just lose a day, you lose your identity as someone who does this. And without that identity, starting again feels like starting from scratch, because emotionally we need a completely different framework. One that makes a missed day, just a missed day, nothing more. I want to show you a number. If you get 1% better at something every single day for 1 year, not 50% better, not 10% better, just 1%, you'll be 37 times more capable by the end of that year. 37 times. Let that settle, because most people hear 1% and their brain files it under negligible, barely worth doing, basically nothing. But 1% compounded daily over 365 days doesn't give you 1.365. It gives you 10.37. Multiplied, 37 times your starting point. Now run the opposite calculation. If you get 1% worse every day, not dramatically worse, just slightly, consistently worse, after 1 year, you'll have declined to roughly 3% of your original capability, not 97%. 3%. The same compounding force that builds you can also quietly, invisibly erode you. It works in both directions. Which means the question isn't whether compounding is happening in your life. It's always happening. The question is, which direction is it running? The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Lao Tzu. Think of a single penny. Day 1, 1 cent. Day 2, 2 cents. Day 7, 64 cents. Still laughably small. Day 20, $5. Day 25, $168. Day 30, over $5 million. The penny didn't change. The mechanism, daily doubling, stayed identical every single day. What changed was time. And that's the secret hidden inside the 1% rule. The effort stays constant. Time does the heavy lifting. Here's what this means for you. The gap between who you are and who you want to be is not a distance problem. It's a direction problem. You don't need to leap it. You need to face it, take one step, and trust the maths.